Hello and welcome to the Siemens Industry Online Support. My name is Elmar Vogt and I would like to give you an overview of the possibilities to migrate Step 7 projects into the new TR Portal world. This webinar presents the following subjects. I would like to start by giving an overview of the subject of migration and explain some details. Subsequently, I will go into the requirements for migration. As the webinar continues, I will describe which requirements apply to the individual Step 7 components. I will conclude the webinar with a summary. The next slides present an overview and the details of Step 7 migration. This graphic shows an overview of migration. The source environment as the starting point is depicted in the lower section of the slide. Let us begin from the left with Step 7 MicroWin version 4.0 Service Pack 6. We are now in the S7200 environment. Starting from Step 7 MicroWin, there is the possibility of conversion. Conversion in this context, however, implies that you change the hardware platform from S7200 to S71200. This was already possible with the version Step 7 Basic version 10.5. Thematic Step 7 version 11 allows you to open the projects created with Step 7 Basic version 10.5 and to convert them into a Step 7 version 11 project. This can be accomplished with Step 7 Basic version 11 or with Step 7 Professional version 11. Step 7 Professional includes Step 7 Basic. Step 7 version 5.4 plus Service Pack 5 or higher and the associated license must be installed on the computer on which you want to carry out the migration in addition to Step 7 Professional version 11. You can also migrate Step 7 version 5 projects in Step 7 Professional version 11. This includes projects from earlier versions of Step 7, created, for example, in version 5.3. This affects the controllers from the S7300, S7400 spectrum. For these projects, open the migration from Thematic Step 7 version 11, where you can migrate your projects directly into Step 7 Professional version 11. You will not find Step 7 Basic here, because the Step 7 Basic versions 10.5 and 11 only have the S71200 integrated. The right-hand section of the slide shows the WinCC Flexible and WinCC environment. I will only briefly mention this topic here, as this webinar is about migrating Step 7 projects into the TR Portal. The migration of WinCC version 11 will be covered in detail in a special entry. The following versions of WinCC version 11 are available: WinCC Basic, WinCC Comfort, WinCC Advanced, and WinCC Professional. Different operator stations can be configured depending on the selected product. As a starting point for migrating to WinCC version 11, you need WinCC Flexible 2008 Service Pack 2 or WinCC version 7.0 Service Pack 1 or higher. For these and higher versions, projects to Thematic WinCC version 11 can be migrated into the respective target system. Now some detailed information on the source software Step 7 MicroWin for S7200 projects. A basic prerequisite is that the project to be migrated was created or last saved with MicroWin version 4.0 Service Pack 6. What is it you can migrate? You can migrate any programs that were created using the IEC languages LAD and FBD. It is not possible to migrate, for example, programs written in STL code. This is due to the fact that the S71200 does not support STL code. Such blocks must be converted into LAD or FBD blocks, or they have to be reprogrammed accordingly, prior to being migrated. Technology objects cannot be migrated to S7-1200 because the structure, or in other words, the architecture behind the technology objects, has changed completely there. Such objects must be programmed manually in the TR portal. Also, it is not possible to migrate special flags, as these flags no longer exist for the S7-1200. But let's now focus on a topic that concerns most of you, namely the migration from the Step 7 versions 5.4, 5.5, Step 7 Professional 2006 or 2010 to Step 7 Professional version 11. This slide provides some information on safety, migration, and limitations. About safety. Safety can be migrated. You need the optional package Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11 for this purpose. In Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11, you can reuse projects from S7 Distributed Safety version 5.4 Service Pack 5 by migrating program code and hardware configuration. You need SIMATIC Step 7 Professional version 11 Service Pack 1 Update 2 as system requirement, available since September 2011. About migration. Which languages can you migrate? Based on Step 7 version 5.4 Service Pack 5 or Step 7 version 5.5, you can migrate all IEC languages such as LAD, FBD, SCL, STL, and Graph. This means that blocks created in these languages can be migrated into the TR portal. It is presently not possible to migrate libraries directly into the TR portal. As a workaround, you can, for example, copy the blocks into a project and then recopy these blocks into a TR portal library. What do you have to pay attention to concerning hardware and network configuration? October 1st, 2007 is the effective date for modules that can be migrated. Here some background information in this context. The TR portal supports modules that were actively marketed until this effective date, and they are stored in the hardware catalog. In practice, this means that only such Step 7 programs can be migrated into the TR portal which contain modules younger than the mentioned date. If you have hardware configurations with older modules, these cannot be migrated into the TR portal or Step 7 version 11. About limitations. The implementation of the process diagnostic feature and the support of highly available systems is only planned for future versions. From the present point of view, this implies that projects that contain these functions can presently not be migrated into the TR portal. No migration support is planned for blocks created with the programming language HighGraph, because HighGraph is no longer available in the TR portal. The same applies to IMAP and the communication type FMS links. Some of these products and functions are still from the former S5 world. The following is important on the subject of prerequisites for the migration of Step 7 projects. Step 7 version 5.4 Service Pack 5 or higher and the associated license must be installed on the computer on which you want to carry out the migration, in addition to Step 7 Professional version 11. Furthermore, the Step 7 optional packages used in the projects to be migrated must be installed and licensed on the computer. The software WinCC Flexible does not have to be installed in case of a standalone WinCC Flexible project, since the complete functionality is already included in the TR portal. WinCC Flexible 2008 Service Pack 2 must be installed when migrating an integrated project that includes a PLC and HMI part. In order to migrate a WinCC version 7 project, the software WinCC version 7 does not have to be installed on the migration computer. Please make sure that sufficient hard disk capacity is available. We recommend a size of 10 times the actual project size. ActiveX controls from third-party vendors must be installed on the migration computer. About Step 7 project consistency. The entire Step 7 version 5 project must be consistent, or the migration is aborted and an associated message is displayed. In Semantic Manager, compile the inconsistent blocks before migration into the TR portal. To do so, start the function check block consistency and compile the conflicts. Multi-projects are not yet supported by the TR portal. Thus, multi-projects cannot be migrated. Here it is only possible to migrate the individual projects into the TR portal. This slide covers the hardware configuration for Step 7 version 11. As already mentioned, it is important to know that the S7 modules already discontinued by the effective date October 1st, 2007 are no longer included in the hardware catalog of the TR portal. Configurations with these CPU variants can thus not be migrated into the TR portal. For this purpose, you have to adjust the hardware configuration previously. This means you have to manually replace the CPU type in question. The Readiness Check tool will be available to check whether an existing Step 7 version 5 configuration is capable of being migrated into the TR portal. This tool reads files with the extension CFG. Such a file contains a hardware configuration export. The Readiness Check tool informs you whether all modules used in your Step 7 version 5 project are supported by the TR portal. This gives you the certainty that your project can be smoothly migrated into the TR portal as far as the hardware configuration is concerned. What can be the reasons and what can be done if the migration is aborted due to hardware configuration? One reason may be that your hardware configuration still contains older modules. Please bear in mind that October 1st, 2007 is the effective date in this context. The only remedy here is that you replace the modules that cannot be migrated with modules still marketed actively. But you can also exclude the hardware configuration before starting the migration, so that only the actual Step 7 version 5 program is migrated. In Step 7 version 11 Service Pack 2 and higher versions, the option Exclude Hardware Configuration is selected by default. Another reason why the migration is aborted can be the absence of GSD files. This means that GSD files are used in the Step 7 version 5 project, but these files are not yet available in the TR portal. During migration, it is not possible to automatically install missing GSD files. Before migration, you have to manually install the GSD files in question in the TR portal. How is this done? Let's assume you have cancelled a migration because a GSD file was not found by the TR portal, because it has not yet been installed there. But the TR portal ensures at least that the corresponding GSD file, which already exists in the Step 7 project, is copied to the default position in the TR portal. You, as user, must remember to manually install the GSD file in question into the TR portal and subsequently restart the migration. What parts of the S7 program can be migrated and what must be observed concerning block protection? Blocks that were created in the programming languages LAD, FBD or STL can be migrated. A standard block, which is not know-how protected, is migrated into the TR portal without changes, and it can be further edited there. This means it still can be edited and the content is fully compatible. When you migrate know-how protected blocks, these blocks will still be know-how protected after the migration. But these blocks are not editable in the TR portal. Why is that? The concept for know-how protection was modified in the TR portal, which means that it is no longer source-based, but password-based. So, if you migrate a know-how protected block, regardless of whether you have the source associated with the block or not, this block will still be protected after the migration and can never be opened again. We thus recommend the following approach. The point of departure is a protected block in your Step 7 version 5 project, which should be editable in the TR portal after migration. Before migration, disable the know-how protection of the block in question. Migrate the unprotected block into the TR portal. After migration, you can restore the protection of the block in the menu Edit Know-how Protection using the protection feature of Step 7 Professional version 11. The result is a password for this block, which you can use to open and edit the block. The following can be said on the subject of migration of S7 SCL. It is possible to migrate S7 SCL sources. During migration, a source that can contain multiple blocks turns into several SCL blocks in the TR portal. Consequently, the TR portal no longer contains any S7 SCL sources, but only SCL blocks. These can be opened and edited in the TR portal. Before loading SCL blocks into the S7 controller, these blocks must be compiled. This is because the S7 SCL compiler in the TR portal was completely rewritten and generates a new machine code. If your Step 7 version 5 project also contains SCL blocks, but the source no longer exists, these blocks will be migrated, but they are know-how protected afterwards. One limitation is that you can no longer view the compiled SCL code afterwards. This was still possible in Step 7 version 5. But you can still load these blocks into the S7 controller. The blocks contain exactly the same binary code as in your Step 7 version 5.x project. S7 graph blocks can be migrated without changes into the TR portal. They are still editable afterwards. Before loading the S7 graph blocks into the controller, these blocks must be compiled. Data blocks and data types, UDTs, can also be migrated. The symbolics, too, are migrated into the TR portal. One difference to Step 7 version 5, however, is that the TR portal no longer contains the symbolic names of blocks in the symbol table. You will find these only in the project navigation. In the TR portal, the symbol table has become a pure variable table, which only contains real variables such as inputs, outputs, and flags. Variable tables have a new name in the TR portal. They are referred to as monitoring tables there. Please note that variable tables cannot be migrated. You have to create them manually in the TR portal. If you have used blocks from semantic libraries in your Step 7 version 5 project, these blocks are migrated into the TR portal without any changes. In this case, however, the blocks are know-how protected and cannot be edited in the TR portal. The following can be said on the subject of blocks for report system error. The blocks for report system error are not migrated into the TR portal. After migration, the system diagnostics is activated in the CPU properties. After completing the migration, the hardware configuration in Step 7 version 11 must be compiled to create the new report system error blocks, including new alarms and text lists. Subsequently, you have to load the project again into the CPU. PLC messages for the alarm SFCs and alarm SFBs are migrated into the TIA portal and can be edited there. It is important in this context that the message number assignment in the Step 7 version 5 project must be set to the mode CPU-oriented unique. Any existing text lists can be migrated and edited in the TIA portal. This is also relevant for all project texts, such as block titles, network titles, comments, and display texts. S7 Process Diagnostics. S7 Process Diagnostics blocks are migrated. This means that the blocks are taken over into the TIA portal project. However, they are not marked as being supported there. These blocks can be loaded but not edited. The message texts and operand monitoring no longer exist in the Step 7 version 11 project. The same applies to S7 high graph blocks. Migration is possible, but these blocks too are marked as not supported. S7 high graph blocks can be loaded into the S7 controller. Please bear in mind that you can no longer edit or modify these blocks. Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11 allows you to reuse projects with safety programs you have created with Distributed Safety version 5.4. To this end, you must have compiled the projects in S7 Distributed Safety and subsequently migrate them in the TIA portal. After migration, you have a complete project with a safety program, where the program structure of S7 Distributed Safety and the overall signature have been preserved. Hence, the migrated project does not have to be accepted again and can be loaded unchanged into the FCPU, unless it has been edited after migration. In the last part of our webcast, we will give a summary of the migration of Step 7 projects. Here a summary of know-how protection. Step 7 version 5 blocks with know-how protection are migrated into the TIA portal. The know-how protection is preserved in the TIA portal. However, the block cannot be opened there, and the block protection cannot be removed. If you have Step 7 version 5 blocks with know-how protection, which you want to edit after migration, we recommend the following approach. Before migration, remove the know-how protection in the Step 7 version 5 source. Migrate the block. Subsequently, assign the know-how protection in the TIA portal. The assignment of the know-how protection in the TIA portal is a bit different. In Step 7 version 5, it was source-based. This is no longer the case in the TIA portal. Each single block can now be know-how protected here. This means that a password can be assigned for each block, which can be opened again by entering this password. Please note that it is possible to migrate blocks that were encrypted using the Step 7 version 5.5 function S7 block privacy. But since the TIA portal does not support block encryption, these blocks are marked as not supported there. You can download such blocks into the S7 controller, but you cannot open the blocks and consequently not edit them. Let me sum up some details on the subject of S7 SCL. During migration from an SCL source that can contain multiple blocks, one or more SCL blocks are created in the TIA portal. As already mentioned, SCL sources no longer exist in the TIA portal, but only SCL blocks. Thus, you can create or define individual blocks as SCL blocks. These blocks can only be opened in the SCL editor, but no longer in an SCL source, where you could define multiple SCL blocks. If you open these blocks, you will also see the respective SCL code. If you have SCL blocks in your configuration, but no longer the sources, the blocks can be opened in Step 7 version 5, and the compiled STL code is displayed. These blocks can be migrated into the TR portal. However, they will always be converted into know-how protected blocks for which the source code can no longer be displayed. These blocks are still marked as SCL blocks, but they cannot be opened anymore because they are know-how protected. After migration, they contain the same binary code as previously in the Step 7 version 5 version. SCL blocks must be recompiled after migration into Step 7 version 11. A new or an optimized machine code is generated. Subsequently, you have to load the project into the CPU. The program status is only possible after compilation and after download. The same is relevant for S7 graph blocks. S7 graph blocks are migrated into Step 7 version 11. The blocks must be recompiled in Step 7 version 11, and the project must subsequently be downloaded into the CPU. Here, too, the program status is only possible after compilation and after download. The slide illustrates how the I/O modules are accessed. Access to the process image has not changed from Step 7 version 5 to Step 7 version 11, but the direct I/O access has changed. An example. In Step 7 version 5, I/O access was implemented via the I/O input word or output word. This means via a special I/O address such as load I/O input word 0. In Step 7 version 11, I/O access is different. Here, the same address from the process image is used. For example, load input word 0. The special feature, however, is that a suffix follows immediately afterwards. In this example, it is :p. The complete text would be load input word 0:p. The suffix :p is also valid for the symbolic access to the I/O. The following note is important regarding the symbolic of the I/O in Step 7 version 11. In Step 7 version 5, it was possible to assign a symbolic name, here for example Joe, for the address input word 0 from the process image, and for example William for the I/O address I/O input word 0, a different symbolic name. In the TR portal, there is now only one symbolic name for each address. In the example, this is the name Joe for the input word 0. The difference between the access to the process image and I/O access is merely the suffix :p. Again, some information concerning the PLC messages, such as alarm S, alarm D, alarm 8, and so on. The PLC messages are migrated with all parameters, including all message classes which are newly created. Message types and message instances, too, are migrated and are then available under the PLC messages in the TR portal. Again, please remember that the message numbers for the individual stations in Step 7 version 5 must be set to the option CPU-oriented unique. You are prompted to make this setting when creating a new Step 7 project, or you can edit this option in the properties of the block folder in Semantic Manager. Only when this setting is activated will the messages be migrated as well. Here, a brief summary on the subject of migrating S7 Distributed Safety to Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11. What happens after migration? As already mentioned, Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11 allows you to reuse projects created with Distributed Safety version 5.4. The result of the migration is a complete Step 7 safety project where the program structure of S7 Distributed Safety and the overall signature have been preserved. Hence, the migrated project does not have to be accepted again and can be loaded unchanged into the F CPU. Should you edit or recompile the migrated F program with Step 7 Safety Advanced version 11, the program structures are reorganized internally. This gives the program a new overall signature and thus a new checksum. As a result, the F program must be accepted again. For more information and a description on the procedure for migrating Step 7 projects, refer to the System Manual of Step 7 Professional version 11.0 Service Pack 2 in Chapter 4. This manual is available in the Siemens Industry Online Support under the entry ID 57185-407. Here the link. The FAQ with entry ID 563-14851 describes the requirements for the migration of Step 7 version 5 projects. It contains a summary of the most important facts of this webinar. Here the link to the FAQ. The link to the respective entry is shown here. The webinar on the subject of migrating Step 7 projects is now complete, and I would like to say goodbye to you. I hope that some of the information was helpful for you. Thank you very much for your attention.